Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday show. I'm your host, theonetonhammer, and with me, my two favorite co-hosts in the whole planet, Terry DeManis. Who's muted?
It's your turn, Terry.
Unmute yourself, my man.
I forgot to unmute. Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm well. How you doing, Jen?
I'm good. That was fun. Sorry.
That was fun.
That would have been me last time, you know, Terry. So next time I do it, you're allowed to tease me for
Yay!
it.
I think it's unfair because I can't do that. I have to start the show, so I have to have a working microphone. I can't screw around. Not fair. Maybe you guys should run the show. Next time maybe next week you guys run the show, and I'll be a guest and I'll make mistakes. How's that?
You know, if I did it, you would be very angry with me because the only setup I have is blind girls. I mean, I have bubbles.
You can just use StreamYards. There are a couple nights where I'm like looking around at how my machine is all set up. I'm thinking to myself, no, I just do StreamYards. Screw all this, you know. But
oh God, you would love it though. She blinged the whole thing out with Canada, so there was like little flags everywhere and little hearts, and then she had Avril Lavigne playing because no reason.
I just can't bring it to myself to break the brand. I guess that's what the deal is.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I won't do it. Let's go ahead and say hello to everybody in chat. People are rolling in early tonight, which is cool. Kiverdam was here an hour and a half at a time. No, she was only here a few minutes at a time. Hi, Kiverdam. Addie is out there. Tyrannus, you just say call him Tier, right? Just call him Tier. All right, Tier's out there. And our Thursday night host, tomorrow night's host, make sure you check out Johnny Hellcat's stream tomorrow night. And welcome Joel to chat. Shroom is out there, the original Shroom. And I'm sure we'll have a bunch of people rolling in later. We usually do. So we have a few things to talk about tonight. I don't know how much we're going to get to. They're just suggestions tonight. I really don't know if we have to get to any of them or if we just ramble with chat. But the first one is Closet Case, and that's a discovery that was made at Twitter headquarters of a closet full of woke merch. # stay woke. I don't know if you guys saw I don't know if it was a TikTok or a Twitter video or what it was, but apparently that's made the rounds of Twitter, and everyone's kind of laughing and then pointing fingers and stuff like that. I thought it was interesting. Also is a couple of shooting instances. The Walmart shooter, Andre Bing, killed 6, and there's 2 in critical, so that number may rise. And I think he hurt 18. I think that was the last number I read. Numbers are bouncing around because it's fairly recent. It probably won't stay in the news too long because Andre Bing is a black person. And then finally, Q-Who, which is kind of a nod to Star Trek The Next Generation. The Club Q shooter killed 5 people. Remarkably, 2 of them trans and 3 of them not trans. So apparently, if you're in a trans club, it's better to be trans because you won't get shot by comparison.
Well, also, CNN is in denial because it turns out that the shooter was also non-binary. And therefore, they don't think it's possible that they could be non-binary, so they misgendered him. So, listen,
misgendered them.
Yes. Well, yeah, CNN did.
Misgendered they.
Oh, I do because I don't actually know the gender of the person in the first place, and I didn't know the person in the first place, and I don't know that far, but I do know that they misgendered them, and I am going to call out CNN and be like, listen, I get that it hurts that somebody in your community did something bad, and therefore denial, but the fact that you're ignoring it is probably why you're going to have more.
Your boy Pat is in chat. Hey Pat, how's it going?
Hi, Pat.
Long time. And Mike R has joined us. Welcome to the chat. Yeah, I've been calling him they regardless. So even if them is an option, I keep calling them they.
Yeah,
that's probably safer.
Because, you know, they always say they, them. But if they're going to make me say they, then I'm just going to say they all the time, regardless of whether it's them or not.
Yeah.
But also, it sounds sillier, which highlights how dumb the whole they them
Exactly,
thing is.
because I am that petty. But yeah, so there's some argument about whether they are truly non-binary or not. They think that they might be some kind of power play to try to get them
It
off
sounds
of
awfully
charges.
transphobic to question this person's lived experience.
It is, but they think that they might be doing this because they want to avoid being charged as a regular human person who is binary. So if they make themselves non-binary, then they might get off the charges better. And they think it might be the lawyers who are doing this, not so much the person, because they say back in months before he called himself uh, he and mentioned that he was your boy. So he
You're
made
allowed to change your gender
at any
anytime you
point.
want, as many times as you want, and
Right.
it is transphobic of these news organizations
Especially
to
after a shooting.
continually misgender them.
You know, once upon a time, it used to just be an insanity plea, which even
Yeah.
for this one, I would still say probably fits.
I mean, it's the same thing.
It is. And I hate to break it to them, but the problem with feeding into fantasy all the time is the minute your fantasy breaks, this person probably was in the fantasy of thinking, oh, this is a safe place. And all of a sudden, they don't think it's a safe place. So they're like, I'm going to shoot the fuck it up. And they did.
So the Q Club shooter had a rifle and 2 pistols and never shot the rifle.
Mhm.
And then the Walmart manager had 2 pistols. Is that correct or
I don't know the details.
Yeah, I think that's the last thing I heard on TikTok, but who knows with TikTok or Twitter if that's all true. So it should be interesting to see how, because of course, if the person is carrying anything that's a long gun of any kind, it's immediately an AR style rifle.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but if it's any kind of, it could be it could be a Mini 14, could be Ruger, could be completely not that rifle at all. It could be 22, 30-06, doesn't matter. Anything that's a long rifle is immediately an AR style rifle.
And I have to agree with Sir Adam Menti, and this is kind of where my position is. It has been for a while, but this ignorance towards the gay community that's coming both from the gay community and the media, gay isn't an excuse, but it's also the fact that you're ignoring the fact that gay people, like everybody else on the planet, are human, which means they have all the other problems that every other human suffers from, which means you have people who are probably just as cuckoo as every other straight person. That doesn't give them an off for when they go crazy. It doesn't give them an offer when they go and do harm to people. That's why we have laws.
Kevin Spacey proved it. All you've got to do is say, I now choose to live as a gay man, and everything's forgiven.
Right?
I get the suspicion that maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm overly sensitive to this, but I get the feeling in general that people of the LGBT community aren't really human. They believe that they are better than the humans. I don't know if everyone else gets that opinion, but you know, we have holidays for veterans. We have holidays for spiritual season like Christmas and stuff like that. And you get a day, Christmas Day, Easter Day, New Year's Eve. It's just a 24-hour period, yet you get Pride Month.
Yeah.
That they're so special that they can't limit themselves to just a day. They have to have 30 days.
It's not just that. And what I'm going to say is probably going to offend some people.
Oh, good.
But it's the honest truth. You know, part of the reason why I pulled away from a lot of religion is probably the same reason that a lot of other people did. And it's not because I don't appreciate God or the Bible or the people from the church who are genuinely really, really good people. It's the part of the church where, you know, historically speaking, bad things were done by the church, by the people running those churches. Not all of the church, but those specific churches. And you know that the church buried those stories. You know that they buried those people knowing that they did harm to both children, the homeless, to people who were going to them because they were seeking help from God and from people in position of leadership. And the fact that the church has never really been open to criticism for that, because people who seek justice should still have justice. The gay community has become that. They are untouchable. You can get away with crimes towards children, towards the elderly, towards your neighbors, all based off of well, you guys were so horrible to us in the past. And it's that same thing that pushes people away. I don't think all of the church is like that. And I've always thought that. But that criticism still stands. That there are people in the church who should have gone to jail a long time ago who didn't. And there are people in the church who probably should still go to jail, who will never go to jail. And now the gay community has that. We've given it to the gay community. Good job.
We've had some people join chat. Green Badger Outdoors, welcome to chat. OG Costin, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, so I don't know how this is all going to shake out because I'm kind of combining the Walmart manager case and the club shooter case together, but I bet within a couple of days, both of these are off the radar.
Of course.
Because you have a basically a person who adheres to the trans ideology killing people, and then you have a black man killing people. And neither one fits the narrative. So they're both going to fall off pretty quick.
Oh, very much so.
That's why I pointed out what I did. Not to offend anyone, because I know we do have people who go to church. And I don't think that way about you. Like I said, 99% of you are good people. But 1% did bad things, and they're getting ignored.
Yeah. There's always bad people in the crowd. Look at the Canadian truckers thing. They had some guy.
Oh God, that was so bad.
Yeah. And obviously he wasn't with them, but you always have that one guy in the crowd that's going to wave a Nazi flag, and everyone's going to say, see, it's an entire Nazi conspiracy. No, it's not. It's one moron, So you're always going to have the bad apple.
Mm-hmm.
The only time where I don't think that's true is with the police. I don't think there's a bad apple, though. I think half of the police force are bad apples. Not to get on the police or anything.
Well, they've done some stuff too, but when it comes to the Emergency Act, it's really, really clear that they're trying to throw the chief under the bus, and he's kind of like, no, actually, you've pretty much screwed me over, and everybody else involved, because even their side has to admit the guy with the Confederate flag was their post. They planted him there. There were no other flags. They hyped up flags everywhere. I'm like, yeah, you mean the one flag that you guys had? Because you can look at the photo of the dude holding it, and he's a media man. He's a reporter.
Yeah.
As if there weren't like cameras everywhere. I'm so proud of the people who are still standing up for themselves, because they're trying to push the mask mandate again.
Oh yeah,
and they're trying.
That. Fauci was on E-SPAN saying it's time to get another shot because it's coming into winter now. Everyone should be getting their shots and get boosted, all that kind of stuff. And did you see the replies to the Twitter feed, to the Twitter thread? It was just no. Yeah, it was all just people saying no fucking way.
Pretty much. Like, I mean, I got it. My mom just had the shot and she got it, and I think that's how I got it. My brother got it, which, fair enough, I was a little bit more worried about him getting it because he's been in and out of the hospital. But
Hey, Tails in chat.
Yeah. Hi Tail. Now that I've
how you doing?
Now that I've had that, I'm just fucking stoked, because now I have the excuse that I don't need a booster shot. Not that they can force me to, like, it's more of just if work has to change the problem with the feds feeding in and having so much control over our provincial, and why I'm really liking my provincial leader right now, is the fact that, yes, they can lean on our businesses so that, they can enforce stuff like that. So if I don't take the shot, I have to get tested every 14 days. And I don't want to stick a straw up my nose every 2 weeks.
I'm willing to double the amount of COVID vaccines that I've received if it'll make Fauci happy.
Tier, both myself and Terry are pure blood as well.
Yes.
I don't want to take it. I've stressed before that I don't think everyone should take it. I don't think everyone was meant to take it. The fact that they kept doing it. And also, I've been watching this guy do walkthroughs on abandoned buildings, and there's been a few that were ex-COVID hospitals and leftover shit that they didn't use that we know that we spent billions of dollars on that wasn't used, and you know that they were using shit on elderly people to keep them passive because they left the drugs behind. So I am just appalled knowing that absolutely was stuff that was going on here, because there's just too many records where they're like, well, you know, people die from old age and shit. I'm like, yeah, but you make it worse for them.
I will say that if Pfizer wants to sponsor this stream, I will happily revise my stance on on this vaccine. Just a couple mil, just you know, 2 million each. I'm sure we can change our minds.
I'm going to have to promote John Campbell again. He had a couple videos back, where he played. It was his video, but the video is almost entirely him playing back a video of how the UK saw what's going on with the COVID vaccine, and how they're not doing it anymore. And he just said, he says, I wish I could say something about this, but I really can't say anything about this because I've forgotten all about this. You know, he's obviously playing to stay out of Susan's bad graces because he's already gotten a strike. Did you know he got a strike? He got a strike for medical misinformation. So he's now playing the dumb guy on purpose, and it's, for a British person to do it, it's even more hilarious than when an American does it. Because an American's more underhanded. He played it like a total idiot. And the man is obviously not a total idiot, but he was like, I wanted to talk about this, but I just forgot what just happened. It's totally, I have no idea. It was hilarious. But he has made it a point to talk about the things that other people aren't talking about, including sudden deaths for no apparent reason, which how many people, I'm not saying that it is, but how many people believe that it's a problem with vaccination? There's probably a lot of people out there thinking that. I personally don't. But I bet there's a lot of people out there thinking that.
I think that's what made the Grinch's heart grow 3 sizes that day.
See, it's not that I think that it's always involved, but I do think sometimes it is, because like everything, if you mix so much stuff, and I think they were, like, I think people were just getting the shot willy-nilly. And even some people were like, you know what? I'm going to refer to a friend called Trucker Matt, because his doctor told him, no, don't take this vaccine. It's going to be bad for the medication you're already on. It'll be bad for your heart. Don't take it. But because of the way his job works, he had to, if he wanted to keep his job. So he went and he took it. And sure enough, it conflicted with his medication. And now he's on something a lot more serious. Is he going to be okay? Yes. Does he still have his job? Yes. But it could have ended his life. You know, and that's the thing. A lot of people were put in that position where they ignored their doctor's advice and went and took it anyway, because if they didn't, they would lose everything. So do I think it led to some people's death? Yes. I think some people took it despite.
Hang on a second before you finish, because it looks like this stream is having problems.
It's fine at my end.
I'm sorry, Susan. I'm not meaning to spread misinformation. It's not. These are true life stories. You know, I don't think I had a problem with
which you also see on the broadcast stream. You can see where it was fine, or mostly fine, and now it just kind of gone crazy.
I wonder if I offended Susan a lot.
Let me I'll just run a quick test to see. Speed test. I'll run a quick speed test. Nothing wrong with my connection. I'm getting 972 megabit.
Do you think we're going to get hit with medical misinformation and this is them taking the stream down?
Usually it just goes like that. Usually don't see a lot of guards beforehand. Just so everyone knows what's going on, this is not an issue on my end.
Yeah, my YouTube is buffering, but the StreamYard call is fine.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. This is, if there's an issue, it's between my provider and YouTube's servers. It's not in my house or just outside of my house. It's somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
You see, if you look at the network meter, see that blue bump?
Yep.
Mhm.
That was me testing my connection.
Yeah.
So you can see there's plenty
Loud
of
and clear.
Well, yeah, plenty of bandwidth when I did that. I could share my speed
Well,
test
that's why.
screen.
Well, that's why I mentioned that StreamYard is fine. If it was a problem at your end, then the StreamYard call would be having problems as well.
Right,
And
you
it's
guys
not.
would be roboting, and I'd be roboting to you if it was a
Yeah.
StreamYard's problem. So it's definitely
And
between.
everything is fine in StreamYard. It's just the YouTube that's acting up.
Yeah, and OBS is pretty good at recovering from these kind of things. So
It does sound like there's a spider in your headset, though. It's amazing.
what's that?
Or oh, okay.
Spider?
It's just like a background. It's like a background static. It's
For
weird.
me?
Yeah, I think I don't know if it's coming from you or
Well,
Terry.
I'm gonna mute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did it go away at any point?
For a little bit.
This room is completely and utterly silent. There's no one else in the house.
Hmm.
I don't have any heating
Weird.
or air conditioning or anything going on, so I don't know what would be any kind of noise in my background. Stream is still bouncing. I'm watching it.
Mm-hmm. It's all good, Keith.
Unclear, but
Oh, Cynic is saying, look like it ended itself, so maybe it's already finished. Because I've just got the buffering, but
well, looking at the network meter, it looks like it's been fixed, and I still have the end stream button on my screen, and OBS has
yeah, I
sending
mean,
data.
it looks fine at my end. I just refreshed, and apart from saying that we've only been streaming for 0 seconds, apart from that, it seems like it's working. Spud Gun says we're back. And so does Joel.
We've got a new entry point to YouTube as well. We're hitting a different server now.
Ah.
And I'm looking at the network stream, and it looks like it's supposed to look. It's nailed. Straight up, straight across, no bumps, no nothing.
Cool. Well, welcome back, everyone.
Is it really back?
Yeah, everyone's saying it's back.
Well, that was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Running a stream to YouTube off of StreamYards through OBS, rebooting the machine, and everything is back.
I don't know, but it seems to have worked.
It's Spud. Fuck it, we'll do it live. I'm watching too much Beauty and the Beta, Matt and Blonde. Well, I will say that I am pretty fucking shocked that worked.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining. It all worked out in the end.
And all that's going to show up is a couple of minutes where it wasn't working, but we're right back to where we were. So it's still the same stream, still everything's exactly the same. It's fucking awesome. I didn't think that was going to work. I really did not think it was going to work.
Either did I, but I mean, there's no harm in trying.
I guess if you reboot and reconnect fast enough, YouTube doesn't end. You get 5 minutes or something like that of no
I think
input,
it's something like that.
and
Yeah.
it drops. So if you make it under 5 minutes, OBS is cool with it. The OBS will recover better than anything, even StreamYards.
Mm.
Wow. Well, we were talking about something, weren't we? At one point, what were we talking about?
Was it that Campbell guy on pretending he doesn't know anything and
Yeah, I need to play the "I am invincible" meme on the screen somehow.
from
Feeling pretty proud of myself right now. For no real reason.
GoldenEye.
Yeah. Goldeneye. I am invincible. Do you know of anybody else who's ever done that? Recovered from a dead stream like that? Uh-oh. It's doing it again.
Yeah, we got too cocky too quick.
But this time, my network meter is perfect.
Jen, say something. Spider's asking about you.
Oh, are we actually streaming again? Okay, sorry, I was a little bit lost in Twitter land. I'm still here. I thought we ended. I was all like, "What? Oh, okay." No, I'm watching people on Twitter make excuses for why making their kids wear masks is intelligent, and this guy is like, "Show me the peer review where it says it's bad for your health." I'm like, "Well, they have studies where they're finding plastic from masks in your lungs." But also, as somebody who has respiratory problems, they suck.
But also, plastic lungs is good. They last longer than regular lungs.
But also, as somebody with respiratory problems, who also knows other people with respiratory problems, the ones where I leak from my nose a lot, I found out that people didn't know what to do when they were wearing the mask, so they were using their sleeves and the collars of their sleeves and their shirts and shit. So this idea that it wasn't spreading everywhere and that the people wearing them aren't dirty as fuck is a fucking lie. So it was causing harm, and it's stupid, and the people wearing it are stupid. And I agree with limited use for certain times. You know, there are times where people are going into houses where they're abandoned buildings. I really love those guys. I really do. But they go into places where, yeah, I can see the black mold. I can see the white mold. I can see all varieties of mold in the same room at the same time.
If there's a reason, then sure, put on a mask, but don't wear it as a default. That's insane.
And it's not healthy. Keep out mold because mold is much bigger than a virus.
Yes, exactly. And it's also going to cause a lot more damage.
Overall, mold will kill you. Mold can kill you. I mean, there's black mold in my car that I'm having a guy clean, and yeah, he has to be basically clean room kind of condition for him to work on the car because it could kill.
13% of the mold is responsible for 50% of the fatalities.
Well, I can also tell you that during the worst of the COVID shit, my workplace was paying for the N95 masks, and I stock soap onto shelves. So every once in a while, I get a Tide box, and those things will leak sometimes. Not once did I ever stock a box of Tide where I didn't taste it in my mouth wearing that shit. And I know it's bigger than COVID, but at the same time, I could still taste it, which is my point.
I'm going to let you two talk for a few minutes. I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I also stand by what I said, though. Like, you know, there are places in my store where it's a store. You find dust traps. And I would just leak because I would have an allergy attack. You know, it's the same as coming in from outside. Sorry, Terry, you don't have to suffer from this, but when it's minus 32, sometimes your nose just leaks like a motherfucker, and it's disgusting. I don't wear scarves for a reason.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been to Switzerland. I don't have to deal with minus 32 in Australia, but when I went traveling, absolutely, and it was brutal and it was horrible.
You know, so like I limit that kind of stuff. Anything that I can do where I know my nose leaks a lot less, that's kind of why I'm doing that.
Sure.
Because it was easier to deal with, and therefore I have napkins and I have hand sanitizer for times where like I'm in between, you know, and then I get to work and then I wash my hands and then I wash my hands in between work, you know, before I eat food. All the things that you should do because you're touching stuff that you don't know where other people have been. It's not even to be a hypochondriac. It's because I've worked in retail before. If, in all honesty, I know that there were times where when I was young, I was dumb because I didn't know about that kind of stuff or that kind of line of thinking. So yeah, I caught shit all the time because retail is dirty.
Yeah, it is. Money is filthy. You had like tests done on it. That stuff is grimy as fuck.
You know, so like, yeah, I'm not opposed to taking care of myself, but I do have question it when it comes to the mask people, because it's also a money thing. And I don't know if some people are buying into it because it is a money thing. Because if you know about living in a country where there's classism, if you know that you're showing off money, sometimes that matters more to people. You know, because some people might be wearing it because they're like, yeah, I'm a nurse. And I'm like, I appreciate that you're a nurse. But in between here and where you're going, you really don't need to wear it because you're actually further away from people. It also sends the symbol that you might actually be sick. You know, so I don't know. If everybody's wearing a mask now, how do I know if somebody's actually sick? I can't.
I think it's funny. I saw a cartoon where someone went into a bank and said, you've got to have a face covering. So they come in with a balaclava and rob the bank.
But that's just it. It is like that because now it's like the bowl of Skittles where 3 of them are poisonous. You know, like
take your chances. Come on, just grab a handful.
Right? It's wrong symbolism is what it is, and it's not very helpful, and it is bad to wear it all the time. Like I do wonder if some of those people, I don't think those people go home with it, but some of them do. Like I have heard stories of people who are so afraid of everything that they go home and they wear it all the time. And it's like, even hypochondriacs know that what they do can take it to a level where it's damaging. You know, like some people have gloves because they wash their hands so much that they peel the skin off their fucking hands. Sorry to use the F word, but
yeah, I mean that's excessive. But yeah, like everything is bad if you take it to an extreme. Like washing your hands, good. Washing your hands 7 times a day, probably excessive. Washing your hands 50 times a day, okay, you've got a problem and you should probably see someone.
There's also reasoning behind it too. Like when I worked with food or anything in that regard, yeah, obviously I was washing my hands more. But here's the thing, they used industrial soap. So within the first week of doing that kind of work, I knew to invest in hand creams and things like that. And you do have to be particular about those because sometimes they're worse for you than anything else because they're kind of dirty. Like they'll collect dirt or they don't dry very quickly. So yeah, it's not always a good idea. But the reasoning is I live in a semi-desert, so really, really dry after you've just washed your hands. So you're drying yourself out even more. So when you have a lot of cracks in your hands from overwashing and dryness, it leaves more room for things like germs to go and hide.
Yep.
So there is such a thing as too much.
Yes.
And we've been run by hypochondriacs and people who are control freaks for like the last probably like a long time.
Yeah.
But hi everybody in the chat. I don't think we've talked to you guys in a little bit because we were having some kerfluffles and Hammer hasn't been back for a while, so that's okay. Trying to do the stream thing. Oh no. So how's it going in Australia? I hear that things have calmed down a lot. I don't know how your election season is, but I think it must be over because it's calmed down a lot.
Yeah, I don't think there's any elections going on at the moment. If there are, I'm going to get fined because I don't know about them, so I'm not going to go voting in them. So hopefully there's no elections going on at the moment. But no, election season seems to be over. Yeah, not much to report. I don't go outside, so I'm sure there is stuff going on in the world, but I have not borne witness to any of it.
What are we talking about?
No, I was trying to shift off of what we were talking about before because it wasn't going anywhere. But also, Terry, on the other hand, not knowing about news means that nothing really happened anyway.
Yeah.
So
Cynic says Victoria is having so that would be why I had no idea because I don't live in Victoria.
No.
We're talking about hand washing. Funny that you mentioned that because I usually use Irish Spring
Mm.
for hand washing bar soap. No big deal. But when you get a girlfriend, bar soap doesn't cut it. So girlfriend went out and bought hand soap that comes in a pump
Mm-hmm.
handle, and when you
Mm-hmm.
squirt it out, it kind of foams when it comes out in your hand.
Okay, yeah,
And
yeah.
I continue to use my bar soap, no big deal. Let her use whatever she wants, right?
Of course.
So I'm out in the kitchen. Bar soap had gotten small enough that she threw it out, but didn't replace it. So I
Oh,
get my
okay.
hands wet, and I turn to the bar of soap, and I said, "Honey, where's my soap?" She says, "Oh, it was tiny. I threw it out." I said, "You didn't get another one?" She says, "Oh, I forgot." I was like, "All right, well, I'll just use some of this pump stuff, you know."
Mm-hmm.
So I pump it up and wash it. My hands nice and foamy. I'm like, "All right, whatever, no big deal." And I wash it off, and I smell my hands, and my hands smell like peppermint now. And I can't keep my hands away from my face. I
Oh.
like the smell of peppermint so much, I keep smelling my hands because it smells good, And she's looking at me laughing. I'm like, I'm not gay, I swear. It just smells really good. And she's like, yeah, it does smell really good. And it washes off just like regular soap. And, you don't have a bar of soap making.
Monkey has gay hair. Hammer has gay hands.
Yeah, apparently. But it doesn't make the mess that a bar sitting on the kitchen sink does. It's, nice in a little container and you just put, it doesn't make any mess. So I didn't put any more bar soap back on.
I like having both. Like I like having the pump every once in a while just because it's a little bit easier to do it and not actually touch anything.
Mm.
Like there is a technique with your wrist that you can do where you can pump it into your hand without actually touching it or
Sure.
But I gave up on that because I live with my brother. There's just some things that he manages to do where I'm like, well, that plan ended. So I just stick to the bars because I can see when those are ended and I can clean the dish.
Mm.
So that's why I do that. But also, for some reason up here, the pump soaps went up in price to a point where I was like, you know what? Screw you. I'll go to the bars.
Yeah.
I just don't necessarily do the Irish Springs. Like, I don't mind it. It's very overwhelmingly perfumey. So, like, sometimes I don't mind it, and sometimes I'm like, mm-mm.
It is a deodorant soap, yeah. And it's a little on the harsh side, too. It's not like Dove, where it's, moisturizing, all that kind of stuff. It's just a plain bar soap. So.
I have really bad eczema, so I can't use soap. I need to use something like QV body wash that is sensitive is easy on the skin, so it doesn't cause rashes to break out.
Mm.
So I don't use the foamy stuff that you're describing. It's kind of like liquid soap, only instead of soap, it's got some other cleaning agent that is less of an irritant to the skin.
Yeah. Adam's in chat. Our Monday night host. Hey, Adam. You missed all the fun.
We had some complications.
Technical difficulties.
Which was funny because even mid talk, I was about to do a little shout out for Pat because I missed his last stream because I was at a dental office. Yeah, he did one. I think it was yesterday because I remember having my face drilled on yesterday, but I completely missed it. But the thing is on his streams, I've been trying to show out not just for us, but for Mr. Adam and Johnny and Skep Tock and everybody. I just I don't know everybody's time, so I was just like trying to remind people that some people start at 7, some people start at 9, but to check us all out because we get lonely and we miss people,
Yeah, my Sunday night is watching Weibo at 8 and then whatchamacallit at 9. Beauty and the Beta, Matt and Blonde at 9. You try to schedule the people you're going to watch because Monkey is like 3 a.m. and you'll use anybody to interfere with him, but everyone else you kind of try to, well, he's going to be on this time and he's going to be on this time. You try to, get them all in a row so you don't miss anything. But, well, an eventful night.
Yeah.
My stomach's
Yeah.
kind of upset from all that tension, but I'm glad it worked out.
Yep. Well, we were talking about other stuff too. Like we had the stuff we were mentioning in the title and things like that. But I think we failed on all of it because, you know, between Tara and I, we covered some of it, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I was talking to Kivadem, and Kivadem was there for the beginning. She left when the stream died. So when she says, "What did I miss?" when she says, "What did I miss?" she means since the stream troubles, not since the beginning of the stream.
Yeah, we actually recovered in line. We didn't lose anything. That's pretty happy that worked out. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of things we could be talking about on Twitter that happened today too. So I don't know if you guys follow Shu or not, but they were giving her shit because she was telling people about these issues with school shooters that she was kind of defending the conservatives, and of course she has no problems poking fun at both sides. So her own people,
that
of course,
makes her
got on her ass, and then Claudia jumped in and defended her.
Makes a conservative in the eyes of the left.
Yeah, if you say anything that's against them, you're bad. And one guy was even saying that she was right wing. I was like, dude, she's a Bernie bro.
Yeah.
Not right wing. Yeah, but everything she's been saying, I said, has been fair to both sides.
And
I like you.
It's also because she cares about that party that she's saying that kind of stuff. Because for some reason, they've also become the party that can't self-reflect at all. Like they point fingers at the conservatives and they're like, you guys are so old-fashioned. You can't change. You want things to go back to the 1950s. But they can't reflect on their own actions and understand that it is them pushing people away. It is, you know, and she's not right-wing. She was hardcore Bernie bro.
Still is.
She still is.
Yeah.
But there are certain things that she believes in that the left associates with the right. She's definitely free speech. She's definitely pew-pews. She's big on pew-pews. And she's anti-war. And right now, for the left, those are 3 strikes against her.
And those are all...
I saw the reaction when, because Elon was saying he doesn't want Alex Jones back. And he said, you know, he held his baby in his arms as it died, and he won't have any tolerance for, you know, people who politicize the deaths of children or whatever. And then she was just saying that's a really bad reason to
she's right,
to ban someone, because you should be running it as like a business, not a personal opinion TOS kind of thing.
Yeah.
And she got ripped to shreds for that, like defending Alex Jones, which she wasn't even doing.
No, she was against the decision, not because of who it was. You know, just making the decision based on your own personal feelings is not a good look. So,
and that was my problem with it too, because I replied to Shu saying, you know, it's Elon's platform, Elon's rules, but this is a bad reason not to bring Jones back. And then someone replied to me saying, well, do you have $44 billion on the line? I bet when $44 billion is on the line, you make different decisions. And my response was, look, if he had said financial considerations as the reason that he couldn't bring Jones back, if it was like, look, we would, but we're in a precarious position with our advertisers. We haven't got enough support over on Twitter Blue, so we can't bring Alex Jones back just yet. I'd be like, okay, that's reasonable. But saying, no, my baby died, so Alex Jones doesn't get to come back on, unless Alex directly killed the baby, that doesn't really make sense.
She's also someone that they've always kind of resented, though, because while she does have the respect from quite a bit of the left, she's still also somebody that many people from the right would be able to have a conversation with. Because even up until a couple of years ago, I remember that, actually, she did watch Ranting Monkey's streams. She would pop up in chat every once in a while because she'd call him out for talking shit about her. And she was funny about it because she was calling him out and he would joke about it. And you could tell they were joking about it. She would have absolutely talked to Ranting Monkey. I don't doubt that at some point, if I asked Monkey, I bet you he has talked to her before. either through DMs on Twitter or through chats in that regard, I don't doubt she would have been willing to talk to the guy, because it's Ranting Monkey. Regardless of whether or not you agree with him on stuff, you could still take the piss out of him and still know that you walked away having a decent conversation.
They have
Because
a,
he's not
they have a
he's
common
not gonna hold
background. They were all involved in that whole SJW decade ago,
Yes.
Right.
thing. So she knows who he is. She would talk to
And
him.
here's-
She would talk to Bering. She would talk to all those people.
And here's the thing, he's still been respectful to her. Even if he doesn't agree with her, even if he makes fun of her a little bit sometimes for some of the stuff she says, he's still respectful to her. And that's the thing that the left can't understand, is that sometimes all it takes is somebody who's willing to at least hear you out, you know, and understand that a joke is still a joke. Like, yes, it can hurt your feelings. Like, I think he's hurt her feelings before. He got blocked by her a couple times. You know, but she unblocks him after. But like she unblocks him too, because it's like, well, he hurt my feelings, but you know, it's Monkey. You know, he's
like Lacey Green is the perfect example of, like, she didn't even change her opinions. She's still crazy far left. She was just, I'm willing to talk to people that are anti-SJW, and then she got ripped to shreds by the, you know, her fellow lefties.
Well,
but
she was such a champion. You know,
but she also started questioning some of the trans community, and it always does seem to come back to that. And it's not that she wasn't open and welcome to the community, it's just some of the things that they were saying was stuff that deep down inside she couldn't agree to. And that's because she does come from a religious background. The idea that you're asking me to really lie to you about something when it's wrong, it is wrong to lie. And she probably got to that conclusion on her own. It was like, listen, I want to agree with you on stuff, but what you're asking me to agree with you on is still forcing me to lie. And they couldn't understand that. And yeah, she might have got a little bit of Chris Ray dick.
Yeah.
they're not together anymore, are they?
No, they're not.
No. But even when people were like, oh my God, Chris Ray Gun is going to turn. Chris Ray Gun's about as fucking left as you can get too.
He's pretty
just,
left.
He just doesn't like the SJW shit. He was always openly left wing. He's not like he ambushed anyone.
Yeah.
If you watched his channel during the 2016 era, he was pretty far left. He just didn't like feminism.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 10 o'clock, and I'm not feeling all that great. So for as much of a feather in my cap, I was able to save the stream. I think I'm thinking, unless you guys have something important you want to get out. Only thing I'm going to say that's important is that we're still looking on our Rumble goal. We're still at 27 of 100. So if anybody has a Rumble account and they can sign up on Rumble for the Minions of the Zoo, so we can live stream there and have 2 streams fail at the same time. I'd appreciate that. But I want to try to get out of here unless you guys have something else.
I don't really have anything else other than to say that I have all the predictive powers for everything except for the lottery, because Monkey just started streaming.
Oh, okay. So let's put time. Let everyone jump over and watch his stuff. So we'll go ahead and get out of it. Thanks, fam, as always, for chatting with us tonight. Sorry about the technical difficulties, but I'm glad we were to recover without destroying the stream. Remember, we're trying to get our Rumble channel up and running, so if you have an account on Rumble, go ahead and give us a follow there. Eventually, we'll live stream there as well, and you'll be helping the Minions grow. As for YouTube, if you can't wait for the next Wednesday failure, remember the Minions are live every evening, including weekends, with most shows starting around 11:30 p.m. Eastern, 7 days a week. Post and start times are linked in the description, along with our Rumble channel documentation. We will be back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Hopefully, as usual. I hope you guys enjoyed most of the show, and we'll see you again next week. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.